Okay, back at the Dakota today. Got some water dripping out of the bottom. Gonna go take a look at it. Some water here on the balancer. When it was level after finishing, there was water dripping everywhere, and it was coming from up here by this hose, but the hose wasn't dripping, and it was dripping right underneath the hose right there. So I suspect it's the water pump. Water pump is 3 years old. It doesn't seem very old, but I'm gonna replace the water pump today. All right, to get to the water pump, fan shroud has to come off. And that should give enough access, and then I may back the truck off of these ramps and go at it from above. But we'll get that fan shroud off first. Alright, fan shroud is off. It is right over there. Next thing is to remove this serpentine belt. Alright, first step in getting the serpentine belt off is the breaker bar here. This is a 5/8. Go like that. Work it off and go back. And there we go. And these belts aren't cheap. This one at AutoZone is $31, $31 to $40. Here's what the new pump looks like. It's got a hose here. I'm gonna take this off, and then there's a clamp for both of these to come off. See if we can see that at the car. There's the first clamp upper, and there is the lower clamp. Alright, I've got all of the bolts loose on the water pump, so now I used a breaker bar to loosen them. And now I'm just going through the process, taking them all off. There's 7 of them. Alright, there's one more thing to take off here, and that is this pipe right here goes in, and then there is a clamp here. Take this hose off, take that off, then I think there's in the kit there's an O-ring here for this again. Okay, now wrangle it. The upper hose, the lower hose. The clamp for the upper hose. And then got to get this off here. And I don't know if it should come off right here, because I have to put this pipe on the new one. So should I force it off here? There's a huge flange right there. I think I need to force it off here. I'm going to check the book. I've got the 2000 book, Dakota book, and I'll see where it's supposed to come off. Alright, so here is the water pump out. Fan shroud is still on. Still haven't got this out. You can see the damage here. A lot of calcium buildup here. So next thing is figure out how to get this fan and fan clutch off. Alright, so here we have the old fan and clutch that we're going to reuse is off of the old water pump, and you see what we had to do was actually use a pipe wrench to hold the shaft still, and then a hammer and a thumb wrench, and that's going to go on there. So next step is to clean the surfaces of the engine where the water pump's going to mount to, get the old gasket material off. Alright, so here is visual inspection with the camera. That is the engine surface. And we are working at getting the old gasket material off. Alright, the new water pump is ready to go on, and we have the silicone gasket seal in place, and we are ready to put it back on. The silicone Permatech sensor safe silicone blue. Check the internet. Internet said one of the uses is water pumps. So we're going to put this on, and the plan then is to let it sit and put it all together tomorrow. But just let this gasket seal up overnight. It's already about 5 o'clock and we've been at it for 3 hours. Okay, new water pump is in place. There it is. So the plan is we're going to put the serpentine belt back on. Then we're going to let the gasket set overnight. And then after tomorrow in the morning, we will put some fluids in and see if we have any leaks. Okay, looks square. Let off on the tension. All right, that did it. Everything looks nice and in the middle everywhere. Okay, we're gonna leave that, let it sit till the morning. All right, here is the next morning. The water pump actual is holding up pretty good, no leaks, except right here. That is a tube that comes out. It had an O-ring, but the O-ring was too large, and I think it got stripped up as that pipe was pushed in. So I'm gonna have to take this pipe off, see if we have to have a replacement or a different O-ring or something. Okay, so here's the solution to the heater return tube, and I had to go buy another one. So this one here was $9.99, and I'll show you the difference here. This one, if you can see, the O-ring is about 1/3 of an inch from the end right here, and on the original part the O-ring was right on the end. Now on my original well, probably OEM water pump, inside the water pump where this tube went in, there was milled a little lip for that O-ring to sit against, but the new water pump does not have that, so it can slide farther in and farther out. So this one here should be much better. So I guess that's something you have to watch out for, is if you're getting a remanufactured water pump, or maybe specifications change over time, but this is a much better design with the O-ring being not right on the end. So I'm going to put it in, see how it goes. All right, there it is. The new heater return hose is in place. That one went in a lot easier with that O-ring being back a little bit. Coated it a little bit. I coated around the ring with some antifreeze. That was recommended. And then that goes up to that hose right there. All right, so fill it up with fluid and give it a test. Fingers crossed. All right, so far so good. No leaks. Especially at that trouble area with the heater return tube. So we're going to let it get up to operating temperature, make sure everything holds. Alright, we're up to operating temperature now. Still no slips, no drips. Looks really good, so we're going to take it for a test drive and then report back after that. Alright, I think we're going to have to call that a success. I have driven it about 10 to 15 miles after it got up to operating temperature, and everything was looking good. No leaks. So now I'm just going to make sure the fluids are topped off, put the fan guard back on, and then that'll be done. Oh, one more thing. Total price of the parts, $39.99 for the water pump and $9.99 for the heater return tube. So there it is, all buttoned up, which is one of the ideas of the average guy's garage, is that you have to tackle a project on the weekend that you can get done on the weekend, because most of us have to have this vehicle to get to work, to earn that paycheck. Thanks for watching.